When you look at the crowds today, you have maybe 5,000–6,000 people here. On the streets yesterday, 1 million people, 1 million Iranians in the street for the Ayatollah Khomeini. Does that not give you concern? Does that not make you afraid?
Because they are afraid, yeah, that's right. And most of the people don't say anything because they are afraid. And they are in silence, you know, they don't say anything.
Is this the silent majority of Iran out here now?
Yes, that's right.
Do you want the Shah to return?
Yes, Shah, return to the country.
What about you, Shah? Why do you want the Shah? Why does she want the Shah?
ما شاه میخوایم ما بیچاره این
شادی کشتنش حلاله کجای قرآن گفته
"47 years we've been bleeding in the dark, under the shadow of the Islamic regime, with a stone-cold heart. They silenced our voices, they turned off our light. 58 days without internet, but we still fought the night. Our children took the streets, they raised their empty hands, and the world looked away. Do you understand? Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? that's all it took. Mothers and fathers and sons, did you even look? We stand with Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, our hope and voice. Millions behind him marching, he is our only choice. He only fights for freedom, democracy and human rights. But you mock him in your chambers while he fights for our lives, to pull us out of this darkness, this century-long night, while you sign deals with our killers and call it diplomatic right. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? They hang 60, 40 souls one by one, hanged within 4 months by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? Do you feel anything at all? Or did something break inside you while Iran answered the call? Do you know Europe? What happened to you, Europe? What made you so cold? What turned your heart to stone while our story went untold? Is oil worth more than blood? Is silence worth the shame? Because while you negotiate with murderers, we are dying, calling your name. Do you know Europe? Do you know what's been done? Do you know Europe? 42,000 souls are gone, killed in 2 days by a regime drenched in blood. Do you know Europe? Or have you just given up? Do you know Europe? We are still here, we are still strong. Do you know Europe? How much longer? How much longer? How long? Do you know Europe?
To all of our friends around the world, under the yoke of the Islamic Republic, Iran is identified in your minds with terrorism, extremism, and poverty. The real Iran is a different Iran, a beautiful, peace-loving, and flourishing Iran. It is the Iran that existed before the Islamic Republic, and it is the Iran that will rise again from its ashes the day the Islamic Republic falls. So let me be clear about how a free Iran will act towards its neighbors and the world after the fall of this regime. In security and foreign policy, Iran's nuclear military program will end. Support for terrorist groups will cease immediately. A free Iran will work with regional and global partners to confront terrorism, organized crime, drug trafficking, and extremist Islamism. Iran will act as a friend and a stabilizing force in the region, and it will be a responsible partner in global security. In diplomacy, relations with the United States will be normalized, and our friendship with America and her people will be restored. The State of Israel will be recognized immediately. We will pursue the expansion of the Abraham Accords into the Cyrus Accords, bringing together a free Iran, Israel, and the Arab world. A new chapter will begin, grounded in mutual recognition, sovereignty, and national interest. In energy, Iran holds some of the largest oil and gas reserves in the world. A free Iran will become a reliable energy supplier to the free world. Policymaking will be transparent. Iran's actions will be responsible. Prices will be predictable. In transparency and governance, Iran will adopt and enforce international standards. Money laundering will be confronted. Organized corruption will be dismantled. Public institutions will answer to the people. In the economy, Iran is one of the world's last great untapped markets. Our population is educated, modern, with a diaspora that connects it to the four corners of the world. A democratic Iran will open its economy to trade, investment, and innovation, and Iran will seek to invest in the world. Opportunity will replace isolation. This is not an abstract vision. It is a practical one, grounded in national interest, stability, and cooperation. To achieve this, now is the time to stand with the Iranian people. The fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of a secular, democratic government in Iran will not only restore dignity to my people, it will benefit the region and the world. A free Iran will be a force for peace, for prosperity, and for partnership.
وقتی واسه غمنی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غمنی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه روبروم یه واژه یه هدف به نام انتقامه پشت سرم دعای مادر و تو دستم تفنگ بابامه رو زبونم اسم شاه بگین عشق بی انتهاست هر جا اسم ایران اومد اونجا صدای بچه رضاست فردا می نویسن تو کتاب قصه دیمار بگو با تیر جنگی کشتن بچه های بیگناه رو بگو از بخت مادرها چیر زنا و دخترامون بگو تنها شهید شدیم تا تنها نمون شامون وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه وقتی واسه غم نی گرچه قصه هامون کم نیست همه خسته این قبولم ما فرصتی واسه ماتم نیست روشن میشه فردا خورشید سرزمین ما سرم باز و سینه سپر بلند میگم جاوید شاه
سلام من به تو یار قدیمی منم همون هوادار قدیم
سید سلام چطوری مردک کلی کتلت شدین دایی بدون مدرک سلام بسیجی قهرمان رفتی پیش توسی با پنیر و یه نون سنگک سلام به محفل قرآنیتون سلام به مدیرای بحرانیتون سلام به حاجی اکبر و طوله هاش و خارج و رفقای ارگانیتون سلام به دزدای پول ملت که تش میفتین توی تور ملت سلام به همه شما کرکسایی که دارین نونتون رو میزنین تو خون ملت ساکتش زیر دست و پاک و تک بخورین حالا هی به یه بادکنک بدوین سلام آخر تو زندان باشه وقتی قرار به این آب خنک بخورین مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا اینو بگذاریم به خاک میرسیم تجزیه طلبی که به خاک بیرسیم ایران مردمش وطن پرستن از کرد تا بلوچ بری به فاک میرسی توف به هر چی مرسی است توف به هر کی در پی تجزیه است توف به لوی و همونی که شیفته ی گل ملیگران تو وطن خدا نستی هست سر کردستان همه برپا شدن بلوچستان فدای مهسا شدن شم واحد که شیر و خورشید ما بقی جعلی ها تنها شدن شادی باشه واسه همه در میهن کور بشه چه شهرچی اهریمن رخه رو بگی تا اون 6 کلاس سواد و خبرگان و مجد سری ترجیحن شبهای عروس و دامادی باشه برن سلامتی نوش کنن و آبادی باشه محصد کجاست میدون شهیاده به سمت اتوبان آزادی باشه سلام به نسل ندید پدیدا نبودیم ندیدیم قدیمتی ما شاه بود تو شادی کل میزدین حالا شاه بر میگرده پیک میزنین مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا مرگ بر ملا متولی ننگ در دنیا ننگ بر دوتا مجاهد چپی بعد از ملا
فاهنگ به این خوشگلی بانو آیده بود اسم این عشقاین رو توش بیاریم ولی خب لازم بود دیگه فکر کنم بانو آیده
Right! Let's go. میخوام بگم از دلم، از عشق به این میهنم، به امید روز شکست دشمن شاه برمیگرده به وطن. برگشتن پهلوی، وحشت هر اجنبی، بلند بگو همشهری شاه رضا پهلوی. نظام رسیده پرتگاه، بلند بگو جاوید شاه. برگشت شاه به میهن، دوای درد وطن. این آخرین نبرده، پهلوی برمیگرده. داره میاد پهلوی، زجه بزن سید علی. راه نجات وطن، پهلوی هموطن. ایران میشه گلستان، شاه که بیاد به ایران. ایران که شاه نداره، حساب کتاب نداره. آخون باید گم بشه، توپ تانک فشفشه. گم شو بیرون اجنبی، داره میاد پهلوی. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. ما شاه میخوایم نه ملا، بذار بشنوه دنیا. ایرانی داد بزن، شاه تو فریاد بزن. برگشتن پهلوی، وحشت هر اجنبی. بلند بگو هموطن، شاه رضا پهلوی. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. فریاد بزن جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه. بلند بگو جاوید شاه، شعار هر وطن خواه.
Look at us here today. We see so many flags representing so many nations. We know we are not alone, and we thank you for being with us. For all people around the world who stand today in unity with the Iranian people, this is not just because it's good for us, and you do it out of compassion and care for our rights to liberty and justice and equality and human rights. But understand that it is in your best interest too, to have, unlike this regime that has been propagating terror and radicalism, we the people of Iran are peacemakers and not warmongers. We like to be friends, especially with the free world. We'd like to be able to have the best neighborly relationship with the people of our area and the region, with the Arab countries, with Israel, and all our other neighbors. We are fighting for justice, we're fighting for human rights, we are fighting for liberty, we're fighting to put an end to all sorts of discrimination. Because as an Iranian, I stand here to tell you that I've dedicated 47 years of my life because I think that my country deserves far better than what we have right now. To now understand that their best remedy is to support the people of Iran, because ultimately a free Iran will be your best partner, not just to bring stability and peace, but it will be in your best economic interest and opportunities. Together we can prosper again, and the world will be so different once the Iranian people are free. I am here to guarantee a transition to secular democratic future. I am committed to be that leader of transition for you, so we can one day have the final opportunity to decide the fate of our country through a democratic, transparent process, through the ballot box and free elections. And let's make sure that this time, especially the free nations of this world and their governments, stand on the right side of history.
Well, Durud Patriots, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to day 167 of Iran Revolution Live with your wonderful and amazing host, Mr. Armin NAVABI.
And your wonderful and amazing host, Goldie Ghamari.
Thank you so much, Armin. Sorry for starting a little late. I'm having some technical difficulties and issues with StreamYard and YouTube as well. Like I got the weirdest notice right now on YouTube. So this live stream right now that we literally just started, it's being reviewed for ad suitability. So YouTube has this is the weirdest thing. I've never started a live stream where I've already been demonetized for ad revenue. It's the weirdest thing. So anyways, I'm requesting that, but seems like I'm definitely having some issues with my YouTube. I don't know if I'm being reported or something, but yeah.
That used to be a case for us a long time ago. Like 2 minutes into our shows, it would get demonetized. A year ago, every single live stream was like this, but now it's not like that anymore. So I just checked. Yeah, so I don't know what's happening.
Is yours okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well, at least yours is okay. But I don't know. It's very bizarre. So yeah, guys, sorry about starting late. I was having some technical difficulties. But Armin, how are you?
Just came off another Trump roller coaster just in the past few hours ago. We went up and then we went down again, Goldie, again. So, oh my God.
Do you want to dive in and explain?
Yeah, okay. So we got another roller coaster today. It's interesting because I was on the Persian show and we went up and now we went so let's look at Truth Social. This is amazing. So President Trump posted this, seeming to be very angry with the Islamic regime and their lies, seeming that President Trump noticed that the Islamic Republic is coming out and spreading a lot of nonsense about what has been agreed to. So we're like, ooh, President Trump is coming a fire day against Islamic Republic. So this was where we are a few hours ago, but then it changed again. Okay, so President Trump posted, the terms that Iran leaked out to the fake news have nothing to do with the terms that were agreed to in writing. What they said included their weak and pathetic statement on having a deal bears no relation to the truth. Very dishonorable people to deal with. With them, there is no such thing as dealing in good faith. Exactly. Amazing. Also, their totally rebuffed drone attack last night against Indian ships leaving the Hormuz Strait is totally unacceptable. They better get their act together and fast. President Donald J. Trump. So like, ooh, President Trump angry with the Islamic Republic. What is going to happen? And then it just 2 hours ago, President Trump posted this. Okay. Donald Trump posted with no caption Arakchi's post on X. Okay. So Arakchi saying the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding has never been closer. So the MOU has never been closer, pending its finalization. The media should refrain from entering speculation about its content. In line with our responsible and transparent approach, all details will be shared with the public in due course. And President Trump just posted that. Arakchi's post. So, Goldie, help us make sense of what's happening.
Well, first of all, I think I still can't believe that people are falling for the Islamic regime's fake news when they put out, oh, this is what the terms of the negotiation are, blah, blah, blah. do you have that? Do you want to bring that up, or should I? Because I know like the leaked MOU that the Islamic regime was putting out there.
I have the Persian version of that. Do you have the
So
English one?
Saeed Qasemi
Said.
Nejad
Yes, he did post it. I have
posted the English version. So why don't you bring that up and let's read through that, because it still blows my mind that the Islamic regime will put out something and then everyone will automatically assume that it's true or it's accurate in any way, shape, or form. I think it's that one there.
Yeah, so this is what made President Trump, I think this is what made him angry, right?
Yeah.
And this is not at all what we agreed to. But this is I think this is good news before we read it, because if we read it, people are going to be like, what the hell is this, the agreement? Like, is this even? So first of all, Goldie is saying that don't trust the Islamic Republic. But Goldie, even though this is fake news, it is the supporters, it is the expectation of the supporters of the Islamic Republic. So it's fake news in the sense that this cannot be the MOU that they're agreeing on. But it's not fake news in the sense that this is the expectation of regime supporters. And in that sense, given that this is the expectation of the regime supporters, that means that anything short of this is going to make the regime supporters extremely disappointed. So that's the good news. That means that we're going to have a lot of chaos. And Goldie, we have so much signs of the regime supporters being panicking over if anything short of this is going to be expected. Like, they are coming out, including some higher important people, not just the people in the streets. So let's go through this one first. So Saeed Qasemi Nejad, and for people who are new here, Saeed Qasemi Nejad is Prince Reza Pahlavi's right-hand man and the main editor of the Iran Prosperity Project's emergency booklet for what comes immediately after the regime falls. And he's very, very smart, by the way. He's like a very smart man. So Saeed Qasemi Nejad posted this saying, according to Mehr News Agency, Mehr News, guys, is the state media of the Islamic Republic, details of a 14-article draft memorandum of understanding between Iran and the United States accepted by the Trump administration are as below. Okay, guys, listen to this. This is like the wish list of the regime supporters. Okay, this is like, this is on a different level. So 1A, permanent and immediate cessation of war on all fronts, including Lebanon. Should I just read it, Goldie, before I point out how ridiculous each one of them is?
I think you should.
I should just read it. Okay. Wow. 2A, commitment by the United States to non-interference in Iran's internal affairs and respect for the sovereignty of the Islamic Republic of Iran. 3, complete lifting of the naval blockade within 30 days. 4. Sorry, I misread the other ones. No, I didn't. There's no space between the A and the number here. Okay. So 4, I misread the 1 and 2. But there should have been space here. 4, a commitment by the United States to withdraw its forces from the periphery of Iran. Periphery. I must pronounce that. Let me actually get the pronunciation right. No, I did pronounce it right. So 5, reopening of the Strait of Hormuz in the Persian Gulf within 30 days under the Iranian arrangements. Wow. 6, suspension of sanctions on the sale of oil, petrochemical products, and derivatives, alongside full Iranian access to its financial resources. 7, the requirement for the United States and its allies to present reconstruction plans for Iran totaling at least $300 billion. Wow. Okay, so 8, a 60-day negotiation period to reach a final agreement based on nuclear issues and the complete lifting of primary, secondary, and U.S. sanctions, and as well as UN Security Council and IAEA Board of Governors resolutions. Reiteration of Iran's commitment under the NPT regarding the non-production of nuclear weapons. That's number 9. 10. During the negotiation period, the United States commits not to add to its forces in the region and will not impose new sanctions. Unbelievable. 11. Release of $24 billion of Iran's frozen funds during the 60-day final negotiation period. Half of this amount must be accessible to Iran before the start of the negotiations. 12. Establishment of a supervisory mechanism to implement the agreement. 13. The final agreement will be endorsed by a United Nations Security Council resolution. 14. Final negotiations will not begin before the release of half of Iran's frozen funds, the suspension of Iranian oil sanctions, and the lifting of the naval blockade. The final agreement will be conducted solely regarding the fate of the enriched materials and enrichment, the lifting of sanctions, and Iran's economic recognition program. Discussion regarding Iran's missile program and support for resistance groups has been definitely removed from the agenda. Goldie, what the hell is this? Is this
this is literally, I mean,
what is
this? First of all, this is nothing that President Trump has spoken about. This is basically just the Islamic regime putting out like wishful thinking, right? I mean, I don't understand how anyone could read this and even assume in any way, shape, or form that this is based in reality at all.
So even before us reading what President Trump posted and what Araghchi posted, we knew that this is not even close to what's possible in reality, like not even close. So President Trump came out and said that, yeah, that is not true. Okay. But I mean, obviously a lot of people are going to be saying, well, yeah, President Trump would say that. But the thing is that Araghchi also, this is also a confirmation that this is not true. Araghchi came out and said, yeah, don't talk about, like, this is a criticism. This is a criticism of the Islamic Republic's own state media. And I think this tweet here is going to cause a lot of panic among regime supporters. We already had, I was observing on the pro-regime people, and not just the pro-regime people, some of the most important people in the Islamic Republic panicking that what if what President Trump is saying is even remotely close to truth, even remotely. And they were panicking over that. And first, President Trump came out and said that, yeah, none of this is right. That's not the agreement that we have. And so that caused more concerns among pro-regime supporters. And this one is now causing even more concern because this is Araghchi confirming that what Mehr News is saying is BS. So I mean, I could show you. I mean, I think we have some other things to go through at first, but I could show you what the level of panic that we're seeing in the regime before we have to actually. Also, Goldie. So some people, a lot of people are gonna say, Armin, this is too much. How could you even say that? So a lot of people, and I will tell you what the counter to that is. A lot of people are upset with this post by President Trump because President Trump, when he posts this without any caption, he basically, to people, it means that President Trump is saying, yeah, what he said. Yes, what he said. So it's basically, a lot of people see this as an endorsement of Araghchi, the foreign minister of the Islamic Republic. So some Iranians are upset. Why is President Trump endorsing a statement by a regime official, like by Araghchi? So Araghchi is saying, don't trust the media. And President Trump was saying before this, don't trust the media. So now that Araghchi is saying, don't trust the media, President Trump is basically, by posting this, are saying, yeah, exactly what Arakshi is saying. Don't trust the media. So obviously some people are going to get really upset saying, like, what is this? Like, why is President Trump agreeing with Arakshi by posting this? However, again, a lot of people are like, okay, Armin, you're defending everything that Trump is saying now. Okay. I just know what this will do inside Iran. I just know what this will do with the Islamic Republic. This, I think Arakshi, as soon as he saw on his phone that President Trump posted his message, he's like, I'm dead. I'm like, what? And like, oh no, I better check. I better talk to my lawyer to make sure my will is basically airtight and everything is working. Like, guys, do you know this is kind of like a death sentence to Arakshi, right? Right? Do you know when you do realize that if we see that President Trump is basically saying, yes, I agree with Arakshi, you do understand that the regime supporters are also seeing that. And this is going to make them rage uncontrollably and saying, like, holy crap, President Trump, like, we knew that these people, we weren't 100% sure, but we knew exactly, we had our suspicions that Ghalibaf and Arakshi are just selling out the country. They're selling out Islam. They're selling out the blood of the supreme leader. And this is treason and they're betraying us. But now this is absolute proof. What more do you need when President Trump himself comes out there and just posts Arakchi's message? And like, Arakchi, look what you have done. The murderers of our supreme leader are basically posting your message and saying, and what message? In fact, which message? The message that you're coming out and saying against the Mehr News's list, which is exactly the only deal that we could agree with. You're saying, like, that's not the deal. That is not the understanding. That is not the MOU, not the deal, not the MOU. So you're basically saying that we are surrendering to Americans. We are bending the knee. We are submitting. We are capitulating. That's what this post is saying. And President Trump is coming out and saying, yes, exactly. You have sold out the regime, you have sold out Islam, you have sold out the supreme leader, and this is the absolute proof of that. So I don't know if this is 5D chess or not. The result is the same. This is going to cause, I mean, I can't imagine how the infighting could get any higher, but I suspect because of this it would. I mean, I've seen what the regime is doing even before this, so I can't even imagine what's going to happen after this. What do you think, Goldie? Oh my God, what a time!
So yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I was confused when I saw Arakchi's post, because Mehr News agency, right? Like, again, every single Islamic regime media outlet is basically propaganda mouthpiece for the Islamic regime. Now, I know that there's, different ones represent different, groups and support different factions. Like Mehr News, which one does Mehr News speak for? Do we know? Is it the IRGC or is it the Beit Rahbari?
Beit Rahbari is Kayhan. IRGC is Tasnim and Fars. Mehr News, I think, is just the standard. Let me double check.
I'm curious about that.
IRIB, but I'll double check.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like, that's what's confusing about Arakchi's post, because it seems as if he's coming out to deny the claims being put out by Mehr News agency. And why would he do that? Because he knows that by doing so, the others are going to see him as a traitor. So does this mean that Arakchi is sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place? Because my understanding was that Arakchi was loyal to Vahidi. But now, like, I mean, this is just causing, I mean, the other possibility, it could be that, Arakchi is just putting this out there to, maybe calm down President Trump. Maybe their strategy at this point really is Okay, let's just sign this to get President Trump off our back so that we can survive another day. However, again, even if let's say theoretically the Arakchi and Ghalibaf, let's say they signed the deal, okay? So it's signed and on paper, whatever the case might be. They're not actually going to follow the terms of the deal, right? Like there's no way that that the Islamic regime will allow Americans to enter into occupied Iran and remove the nuclear dust. And one thing that President Trump said on his Truth Social, let me pull this up as well. What's this going on? So one thing that he said on his Truth Social is that, where was this?
It's interesting because Mehr News is closer to the supreme leadership rather than Paidari or Ghalibaf.
Okay.
But then why would they post that limiting the flexibility?
Well, that's exactly it. So why is Arakchi posting that to basically try and deny or counter what Mehr News is saying? And Mehr News is, like you said, and we confirmed, it's closest to Mojtaba's office, right? And President Trump has said, I can't recall where, but it was in one of his Truth Social posts where he said that even if like the deal is signed or whatever, the naval blockade will remain in place until the terms of the deal are actually executed. So even if, let's say, the deal that President Trump with the 5 points is signed, how is the Islamic regime actually going to go through with it? They won't. I mean, just the very act of signing that deal will be the end of the Islamic regime.
Yeah. Yeah, will be the beginning of the end, exactly. So Goldie, this is for people to understand, this is how I describe it. So if President Trump doesn't at all change his red lines, meaning, for example, among many other things, let's just stick with one example. The enriched uranium has to leave Iran, and the Americans are the only ones the Americans have to come to Iran and take out the enriched uranium, right? So if President Trump has not moved his red lines and the Islamic Republic, for example, agrees to that eventually, that means that the first most important thing that the new supreme leader has done is that he has agreed that the people who are responsible for killing his father, the previous supreme leader, he has allowed them to come and step foot inside Iran and take out their most important leverage. That's what he has agreed to. Like, there is no, I can't imagine in that world him keeping any legitimacy anymore after that, if that's what they're going to agree to.
Yeah. And guys, keep in mind, okay, so I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Here are the 5 conditions that must be included in any deal that is acceptable to President Trump, right? So these are the 5 red lines for President Trump. Number 1 is the Islamic regime has to end its nuclear military program. Number 2, the Islamic regime has to agree to allow the United States to go in and take the nuclear dust. Number 3, the Islamic regime has to stop funding its proxy terrorist forces like Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, Hashd al-Shaabi, and others. Number 4, the Islamic regime must severely limit its ballistic missile program. And number 5, the Islamic regime must immediately open up the Strait of Hormuz. Those are the 5 non-negotiable terms that President Trump has said have to be in the deal. If the Islamic regime signs that deal, that's pretty much the end of the Islamic regime. It's pretty much, surrendering at that point. Like, guys, remember, I keep on repeating myself. A deal doesn't necessarily mean a good thing for the Islamic regime. The deal is a surrender deal. So President Trump is essentially saying you can either surrender diplomatically or you can surrender through military strikes. You choose, right? But either way, like, and this is why the Islamic regime is delaying and trying to keep this kind of going along, because the Islamic regime knows that whichever option it chooses, it's going to be bad for it regardless, right? So President Trump has put the Islamic regime in a checkmate position where no matter what move it makes, it will lead to collapse one way or another.
So JD Vance posted about this, I think, and to clarify. Okay. So JD Vance posted this saying, I'm seeing a lot of fake information about a potential deal to reopen the strait and end Iran's nuclear weapons program. First, the Iranians are not receiving any cash. Oh, thank God. And no funds are being released for simply signing a deal or attending a meeting. The deal is structured to ensure that the US and its allies' concerns are prioritized, and that if the Islamic Republic of Iran meets its obligations, thank you for saying Islamic Republic rather than just saying Iran. Islamic Republic of Iran meets its obligations, then economic benefits will flow to them and to their entire region. This deal has the potential to remake the region and lead to lasting peace. I've noticed a couple of bizarre things in the reopening over the last few hours. First, people who rightly said Donald Trump was a historic president a month ago, now criticizing a deal based on unconfirmed media reports. Second, people who say you can't trust a word said by the IRGC, who apparently believe anonymously sourced social media posts. The president is going to get us a good outcome one way or another. So this is pretty good to read. That's pretty reassuring, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the terms of the deal that President Trump wants the Islamic regime to sign are terms that basically mean surrender. The Islamic regime can't, like the Islamic regime, maybe they'll sign it on paper, but they'll never be able to actually follow through with it. And President Trump has said that the naval blockade is going to remain in place.
Yeah, as long as that's happening, we're still moving really fast into the right direction. So that's good. Let me see. I think
I also sent you a post. I sent you a post from Prime Minister Netanyahu as well.
Ooh, sounds good. And then I have a post ready for from Amu Lindsay about this.
Okay.
After let's go Netanyahu and then Amu Lindsay. BB June, then Amu Lindsay. Oh, good catch, Goldie. Okay, Prime Minister Netanyahu saying, as long as I am Prime Minister of Israel, Iran will not have nuclear weapons. There is full agreement between me and President Trump on this issue. For over 30 years, I have been at the forefront of the international campaign against Iran's nuclear program. Had it not been for this campaign, Iran would long ago have had atomic bombs to destroy Israel. Iran is working to destroy the Jewish state, and I dedicate my life to preventing them from doing so. As long as I am Prime Minister of Israel, this will not happen. Interesting. Let me actually add to that, because we also have this report regarding Prime Minister Netanyahu. Let me look at this. Wow, we have so many updates today. So here. So why, like, let me see. So according to all these newspapers, multiple media outlets inside Israel, they reported that Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, detailed aspects of his conversation with Donald the President of the United States, following the Islamic Republic's missile attack on Israel during the Security Cabinet meeting on Monday evening. According to this report, Netanyahu said he had informed Trump that he understands his desire to reach an agreement with the Islamic Republic, but he doubts the success of such an agreement. He said, this is a direct quote, I told Trump that I fully understand his desire to reach an agreement, but I don't think such an agreement will come about, and we will not be victims of such an agreement. Netanyahu also addressed Israel's response to the Islamic Republic's attacks, stating that he is unwilling to accept an equation in which Israel's response occurs only if its citizens are killed. He added, if they attack Israeli soil, I will respond and carry out a counterattack. In response to criticism regarding Israel's excessive dependence on the United States, the Israeli Prime Minister said, we're not subservient to the Americans. We are their allies. We do not act against them, but alongside them. So that was a big deal. And then, oh my God, I have so many things to share. I don't even know where to start. So this one I already went through. Oh, yeah. So we have an update from Pakistan. Pakistan's prime minister said on Friday that a final agreed text of a peace deal, not an MOU, peace deal between Iran and the United States has been reached, adding that Islamabad is working closely with both sides to finalize the next steps. In a statement, the Pakistani premier said ongoing mediation efforts had brought the parties closer to an agreement, despite what he described as an what is that?
Incessant.
Incessant.
It means like
non-stop. Incessant misinformation campaign by those seeking to sabotage the process. Setting aside the noise, we can confirm that a final agreed upon text of the peace deal has been reached, he said, adding that Pakistan is coordinating with both sides on implementation. Peace has never been this close as it is now. So that's Pakistan. And guys, thank you for all the super chats. We're going to have our Q&A soon. So let me try to get all of the updates fast. So Amu Lindsay posted. So we always very pay attention to Amu Lindsay. His positions are very close to, the Iranian people often. Yeah. So he posted a picture of President Trump being angry with the media and saying what the Islamic Republic is posting is not at all close to what the agreement is. So Amu Lindsay just posted that picture and saying, I am very glad to hear from POTUS that Iranian media reports about the so-called deal are fake, because the deal as described by Iran would be awful. President Trump and our military deserve a lot of credit for making Iran the weakest they've been since 1979 through a combination of highly effective military strikes and a crushing blockade. However, we must remember the Iranian regime has killed 42,000. Thank you, Amu Lindsay. 42,000 of their own people for simply wanting a better life, and their leadership are radical religious Nazis. As to any potential deal, it must be compared to the JCPOA, and I am hopeful that it will be vastly different. The idea of a $300 billion reconstruction fund, given who is in charge of Iran, seems to be tone deaf. It would be akin to a Marshall Plan for Germany with the Nazis still in charge. That's a very good analogy. Let me read that again. It would be akin to a Marshall Plan for Germany with the Nazis still in charge. That wouldn't have been a good idea then, and any reconstruction fund that benefits this terrorist regime wouldn't be a good idea now. That's a really good way of expressing it. As to the Iranian nuclear program, President Trump's red line has been no enrichment. I hope that holds, as it must. Allowing Iran to enrich under the JCPOA was one of the major flaws of the terrible deal. As I've stated before, any deal with Iran must come to Congress for scrutiny and approval. Thank you, Amulizi. Very always making, stating it as it is and keep insisting on something that will end the regime. So there's that. The fact that, here. This is another important update from Israel. Israel's defense minister said he and Prime Minister Netanyahu had instructed the military to prepare to preserve Israel's ability to act independently against Iran's nuclear program. Wow. Israel Katz said the United States was pursuing an agreement with Iran based on American interest, including the shared U.S.-Israeli goal of preventing Tehran from obtaining nuclear weapons. He said Israel expected Washington to uphold that principle, along with restrictions on Iran's missile program and regional proxies. He added that the joint U.S.-Israel action had dealt Iran severe blows and set back its capabilities for years. So they're saying they might do things independently. Okay, so now let me quickly go through updates from inside Iran. Because I think this is really essential for you guys to see how this is affecting the Islamic Republic, all of this up and down. So let's see what Fars. We already saw what Mehr News is saying. Mehr News is more associated with the supreme leadership. Fars News is saying that none of this is real. So Fars News is associated with IRGC. So Fars News agency affiliated with the IRGC quoted a source close to the Islamic Republic's negotiating team as reporting that reports about the finalization of an agreement with the United States and its signing on Sunday in Geneva are not true. This source, so guys, look at this. Mehr News is saying, like, we're going to have a deal and it's amazing. We got everything that we want. So President Trump saying we're going to have a deal and it's going to be everything that we wanted. That's what President Trump said. Let me show you that. Yeah, Trump says Iran. Yeah, so Trump basically said, like, everything the United States wants is going to be achieved in the deal. Mehr News, associated with the supreme leadership, is like, everything that we wanted is going to be in the deal. Fars News, which is IRGC, is saying there is no deal happening. What are you talking about? Araghchi, which is the foreign minister of the Islamic Republic, is saying, like, everybody's wrong. We're getting close to an MOU, and stop talking about it until it's out there. And it's interesting because the pro-regime people are going to be like, what do you mean? Like, stop talking about it until it's too late, until you guys capitulate to the Americans? So this source, this Fars News, said the process of reviewing and deciding on the agreement in Iran has not yet been finalized, and the published reports about the time and place of agreement signing the deal are farce, are false, basically farce. The name of the news. Okay, so let's go to more updates from inside the regime. So NAVABI. Look at this, guys. Inside the regime is all over the place. NAVABI, which I think you guys remember, he's a member. Three things you need to know about him. He's a member of parliament. One, he's a member of the Paidari camp, which I think you guys already know about their standings on things. Actually, their benefit, even though they're the most Durkha, they're actually on our side. Like, I'm just joking. I'm just saying they're the most beneficial for us because they're causing the most division in the Islamic Republic, right? Also, he was one of the people who traveled with Ghalibaf to Islamabad as part of the negotiation delegation team. So let's see what he has to say. Mahmoud NAVABI, a member of the Islamic Republic's parliament, and more importantly, a member of the Paidari camp, criticized the draft of a potential agreement between the United States and the Islamic Republic, describing it as similar to the JCPOA and pure loss. Oh my God. So guys, in the United States, people are like, oh, the JCPOA was bad for the United States. Make sure the deal is not at all like the JCPOA. And inside the Islamic Republic, the most durka of them all are saying that the JCPOA was bad for the Islamic Republic. So make sure the deal should not be. So guys, both sides are using the JCPOA as something that you should completely avoid. So the difference is that the United States is saying that the JCPOA, what the deal should be more in favor of United States than the JCPOA. And the Islamic Republic, the people who are criticizing the Islamic Republic inside Iran are criticizing the Islamic Republic because they're saying that the deal should be more in favor of the Islamic Republic than the JCPOA. so this is a good reminder because I think a lot of you might not know this. The JCPOA has been hated by pro-regime Iranians as much as it has been hated in the United States, but for completely opposite reasons. In the United States, they think it was too lenient, it was too in favor of the Islamic Republic. But in the Islamic Republic, they think the JCPOA was too much in favor of the United States. So they both use this as the taboo things that should never be repeated. Like we should basically you see how far away we are, guys? You see how far away we are to a deal? So this is the best summary of how far away we are from a deal. So let me read that. Describing it. So NAVABI is saying, oh my God, this is too much like the JCPOA and a pure loss. He said, talking about victory with this ambiguous and damaging text is completely wrong. NAVABI, criticizing the provisions raised the draft agreement, said that under this agreement, the Islamic Republic would not have the right to produce nuclear weapons. Guys, this guy is holding up the Mehr news list. The Mehr news list that we just read, he's holding that up and is saying that is too good for the Americans. You know the list that the delusional list that we went through? That we were like, are you kidding me? That will never happen? This guy thinks that's not good enough for the Islamic Republic. And so do so many Paidari camp people. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Let me know if you understand this. This is insanity. Right? So the list that the Mehr News posted, and we think like, of course that's not going to happen. That looks like an Islamic Republic wish list. This guy is saying like, no, it's not good enough because there's no in that list that we read, it has nothing regarding the fact that the Islamic Republic should have the right to produce nuclear weapons. Okay. So he also, okay, you guys are getting it. Good. He also added that the fate of enriched materials has been tied to U.S. satisfaction, and all matters related to the nuclear program must be subject to negotiation. So, wow. Okay, this parliament member emphasized this agreement, like the JCPOA, is pure loss, and it's because of the changed calculations of the officials, right? So, yep, guys, we're so close to the deal. So close. Sure. So let me just give you some other indication that all things are not well at all in the Islamic Republic. So this is Alamul Huda. I have been trying to make it go viral inside Iran for us to call him the Santa Claus of Khorasan. So far, it hasn't picked up, but I'm trying. He's very important. He's the most important religious leader in Khorasan, and he has a huge cult following, very huge cult following. So he's remember him. He's going to be important. Religiously, he's going to be important, right? So let me read this. Ahmad Alamul Huda, the representative of the leader of the Islamic Republic in Khorasan, Khorasan. So this is what he said. He said, no agreement or commitment is acceptable without the signature of Mujtaba Khamenei. I just wanted to read this whole part because this part seems innocent, right? You're like, oh, obviously it needs to have Mujtaba Khamenei's signature on it. But the reason why he's saying this is he's trying to cast. Why would he say that, right? Why would he say it needs a signature? because right now they're saying it is based on the approval of Mujtaba Khamenei. The reason why he's putting this, guys, let me tell you, you're not going to get this anywhere else. The reason why Alam al-Huda, he's trying to be careful. He's not trying to go too far, like, for example, Rasai or Jalili recently. He's trying to stir up, some opposition against the people who are speaking against the Supreme Leadership Office without crossing a red line. Basically, what he's doing here is he's asking for a signature, but he's not asking for video proof or audio proof. Because if he said that, that would be a step too far, which means that he's kind of suggesting that all of the messages from Mujtaba Khamenei are fake and it's not by him. But he is asking for signature, meaning that he's slowly, trying to warm up with casting doubt regarding all of this approval by Mujtaba Khamenei regarding the negotiations, whether it's actually Mujtaba or not. You see how he carefully, by asking for signature, he's basically is hinting at we don't trust these statements. Do you guys see that? Let me know if you see what I'm seeing here. So that was an important update that I needed you guys to see. And okay, so look at this. Another update here. Yeah, people are saying interesting. Yeah, exactly. See, guys, I brought you the news, but by highlighting the signature part, I gave you some context that you would not see in the news. The news would just tell you what Alam al-Huda said, but it would not read in between the lines for you, like the way that we just did here right now, right? So look at this. So let me see his name. See, I can't read this name in English. I need to see it like this so I could pronounce it properly. Hassan Fazlullah. See, I would have never been able to get it in the English format. So Hassan Fazlullah, a senior Hezbollah figure and the group's representative in the Lebanese parliament, said that Hezbollah is confident that the Islamic Republic will insist on including the issue of Lebanon in any potential agreement with the United States. I'm not going to read the rest because I'm going to move on to the other updates. But guys, this is a communication of an expectation of Hezbollah for the Islamic Republic. Meaning this is not, when they say like, oh, we're sure you're going to do that, this is a warning, okay? So when they say Hezbollah is confident, again, you have to read in between the lines here. This is like, of course you're not going to sell us out, right? Of course the Islamic Republic is not going to sell us out. You see what a difficult situation the Islamic Republic is in? Because this warning from Hezbollah means that they could expect less loyalty from Hezbollah if they're not part of the deal. Let me know if you understand what's happening here. So this makes it very difficult for the Islamic Republic, because to put Hezbollah as part of the deal, it means that the United States somehow has to force Israel to not attack Hezbollah, even though Hezbollah is attacking Israeli citizens. Like, that is an impossible expectation from the United States, which is not achievable, which again means that the deal, if the Islamic Republic pushes for this is why this is such an important red line for the Islamic Republic, for that to be part of the deal. If they push for this, there will be no deal, because obviously Israel is not going to agree to do something based on a negotiation. United States is negotiating with the Islamic Republic, and if they come up with an agreement, then Israel needs to abide by something that they didn't even sign. Like, that is ridiculous. So the Islamic Republic needs to include this. If they don't include it, then they're going to lose the loyalty of Hezbollah, which is one of their only last remaining deterrence capabilities and leverage that they have. No, without Hezbollah's loyalty, the Islamic Republic will lose one of its only three remaining leverages. So if they do include it, then there's not going to be a deal, and the Islamic Republic is going to get screwed, because then President Trump will attack them. And if they don't include it, then they will lose Hezbollah. If they do include it, there will not be a deal, and they're going to get bombed. So this is the difficult position that the Islamic Republic is with the situation. And then I think lastly, yeah, let me do this one lastly. So because we're way into the Q&A period, just want to show you guys, let me know if these updates are important and the interpretation is helpful as well, because I think if you understand what I'm saying, then you better than anyone else is going to understand the difficulties, the internal politics of the Islamic Republic and the difficulty that the Islamic Republic is dealing with right now, right? So Alam al-Huda that I showed you is the Friday prayer imam of Mashhad, which is one of the most important religious cities to the Islamic Republic. So Friday prayer imams, guys, are representatives of this of the office of the supreme leadership in every single in every city and town and village, right? So it's basically the arm of here. Let me actually show you the boom boom sheet for you guys to understand what's the importance of these people, and then we go to that guy, right? So let me remove the chat really quickly. Sorry, guys. So if you go down here, so if we have the Beta Rahbari is up here, right? This is the Beta Rahbari. This is the office of the supreme leadership. If you come down here, you see this 900 number over here. That is the 900 district supreme leader representatives and Friday prayer imams. Okay, so Alam al-Huda, which is his picture is right here. He's that one of these 900 in one of the most important cities in the province of Khorasan, which is Mashhad. Okay, and they're picked by the supreme leader, but he is too powerful right now. He's actually a challenge to the supreme leader. But here's another one of them. This is for Ahvaz. Okay, this is the Friday prayer imam for Ahvaz, one of those 900, right? Let me read his name in Muhammad Nabi Musafard. So that's his name. Muhammad Nabi Musafard, the Friday prayer leader of Ahvaz, stated that any retreat in the face of the America and Israel front is forbidden and unacceptable. Basically, they're coming out. Look at this. He's wearing, like, he's supposed to wear a mullah uniform, but they're these days they're wearing military uniform and coming out to their Friday prayers with guns. That's a thing. That's a trend now among, okay. So this is a warning that we're not going to accept. Like, you have to look at this. This guy is serious, right? He's basically threatening that any Arakshi and Ghalibaf and Abet also basically, this is a threat against the supreme leader as well. I'm telling you, these are all threats against the supreme leader as well. They're saying any form of capitulation is not going to be accepted. And these people are of influence because their audience is the Durka people in Iran. These Friday prayer imams, they're religious pro-regime people, they listen to them. So they have control over the opinion of the people within their city, at least the ones who are religious and pro-regime. So like in his Friday prayer sermon on June 12th, he said the country's security is not limited solely to military capability and is the result of a combination of military power, soft power, media intelligence, and economic resilience. Musavi Fard added that the enemy seeks to undermine society's resilience through rumor mongering and polarization. You know what this means? This means, like, you guys better make sure that these rumors, the news about you agreeing to President Trump is all rumor. Basically, like these are all rumors, right? This is all rumors, right? Like, you better make sure that these are just rumors and not real news. That's what he's saying. This is also a threat. You see how the Islamic Republic, what a difficult situation they're dealing with? I think most of you now understand what the situation is like right now. Okay, so sorry for cutting into the. I think all of this was important for me to go through. Yeah. So, but sorry that I cut into the Q&A time.
No, that's okay. We started late, and this is really important. It's my fault. I was having technical difficulties, but no, this is really important because I think people need to understand the meltdown that this is causing behind closed doors inside of the Islamic regime. And if you know where to look, you can see signs of that meltdown.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. That was the perfect summary of everything that we just went through. Yeah. And also, Texas Trip is saying, we demand proof of life of Mushtaba. You know, this is actually a really good way to cause division within the Islamic Republic. You know, you could, you know, if we wanted to, you could create bot accounts like the Islamic Republic does and pretend to be the Durka people and then go on social media and be like, oh, Ghalib, all of this news coming from the Supreme Leadership Office is Ghalibaf, is fake news from Ghalibaf. Give us the proof that he's actually alive and he's actually speaking. Honestly, that is if you that campaign, that is basically using the Islamic Republic's weapons against him. We could basically start a bot army of people who are pretending, because this is the Islamic Republic has created a bot army of people who pretend to be anti-regime and pro-Pahlavi, and they come and basically cause division among us. So we should do the same thing to them, and that line is actually the perfect line to create a whole bunch of accounts that look like Basijis and have the picture of the supreme leader on them, or Ali's picture on them, or Haydar or whatever, and just let them loose going around and saying, I don't know, Ghalibaf is lying, give us proof of life. Proof of life, please. Exactly. That should be the demand. And here. Ah! I'm oppressed again. I went to the no. Oh, I had my victim card ready. Okay, I will bring it.
See, it's like for some reason it happens like every other day. It's so weird. I don't know why. I don't know why it does this.
Okay, so now that this has happened, I will show you. Somebody made a victim card for me. Wait, who that nation gal? There you go, Armin. Yes, exactly. Who that nation gal already made a victim card for me because I was oppressed, so she made it convenient. So you should include Goldie here because I'm being oppressed by Goldie.
It's not me.
It is you. Okay, where is it? You should include like it was Goldie. So Armin NAVABI victim card. Internet betrayed him. Stream froze. Mic stopped working. Audio echo. Oh my, is this me? Stream crashed. Chat saw it before he did. This is a free space. Technical difficulties in the middle. And then we have restarted OBS. Blame the computer. Blamed YouTube. Blame the internet provider. Where's the blame the Jew option? Blame the Jews. That's always should be an option. Fix itself somehow. Nobody knows what happened. And then can you hear me times 10? Complete the card and unlock one complimentary stream reboot. There we go. There's a go. Blame the Jews. Yeah, put the Jews and Goldie here. By the way, thank you. Who that nation gal? That's pretty good. I like it. Like people love it in the chat. Okay. Oh, let me remove this. Okay. Q&A time. Yay. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for the support. I love listening to you guys and see what you guys think. It makes the communication both ways. T. Thompson, thank you so much. Saying, by the way, the tornado warning in my Indiana area during Sisters Live did not hit us. Oh wow. Oh, good. Yes.
But yeah, there was crazy like tornado warnings happening all across the Midwestern United States yesterday. So it was definitely scary times. But I'm glad that you are okay, and yeah, glad to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for telling us. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know, so I but thank you for telling the people who might have been stressed out for you. Saying thanks for prayers and good wishes. Finished Rose's live later. Okay, go. Well, good job. Thank you. Yeah, don't make sure you don't miss it. That's an important priority. Guys, make sure you go check out Rose's live streams. If you're a nerd, you're missing out if you're not watching that. Okay, all nerds need to go watch that. I mean, we're political nerds here, but if you're also a science nerd on top of being a political nerd, then you could watch both. And wow, thank you so much, Scruff Diesel. Thank you so much for the generous super chats. Saying I grew up on What is that, Goldie?
On an Air Force base. Yeah, so Scruff
Yes, Air Force
says,
base. Yes.
yeah, he says, I grew up
But
on an
I got
Air
it.
Force base in the
Yeah.
80s with wonderful Persian friends. Havato Daram, Javid Shah. Thank
Javid
you.
Shah,
Thank you so much, Scruff. Always with the kind messages.
Yes, thank you so much. Very sweet, very generous. I only needed help with Air Force, Goldie. I know the rest.
I can read a comment one or two once in a while. As well.
Okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Only this time, though.
Thank you.
I'm just kidding. Okay, thank you, Scruff Diesel. All right, next super chat. Guys, I'm just kidding. Don't come at me. Oh my god, people are like, Armin is so controlling. It's a joke. Or maybe it's the Durka in me thinking that women should ask permission.
Durka's in you coming out. Oh my gosh.
The Durka in me is coming. Yes. Fleshy Interloper, thank you so much for the super chat. Always here, always supportive. Thank you. Saying Trump better not be a piece of paper Chamberlain. No, he's not. No, don't worry. I don't think so. I mean, guys, like, Goldie, how would you respond to this?
I think President Trump knows what he's doing. I think that he is being, I mean, there's definitely a lot of pressure on him to do a deal with the Islamic regime that would keep the Islamic regime in power. And the reason that we know that, Armin, is because even His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi, he did a speech. I think it was either last year or maybe the year before. It was at one of the conventions, and I can't recall where it was exactly, but he himself even said that he had been under intense pressure by certain, world leaders or global figures to abandon his campaign to free Iran because there is an economic benefit to keeping the Islamic regime in power. At the expense of the Iranian people being held hostage. So King Reza Pahlavi has already confirmed that there are people out there who have a vested interest in the Islamic regime remaining. So President Trump is under a lot of pressure, I would say, from those forces. However, I don't think President Trump is going to cave. I think President Trump, I mean, he's sort of he's going ahead with his plan. Is it as fast as we want it to be? No, absolutely not. Because for us, so the humanitarian aspect, we want it over, we want the Islamic regime gone today, yesterday, last year. But having said that, I don't think President Trump is sending all of these military assets to the area and all these Marines as well. Because the thing is, people, again, I've said this a million times, I'll say it again, right? I don't know why it's difficult for people to not understand this concept that the deal that President Trump wants the Islamic regime to sign is not a deal that's good for the Islamic regime. It's a deal that's good for the United States. Even if, let's say, theoretically, even if the Islamic regime were to sign the deal that President Trump wants, President Trump has said that the naval blockade will remain in place and no, money or whatever, or, none of the economic sanctions will be lifted until the Islamic regime implements those 5 terms, right? So a lot of people are thinking, okay, well, as soon as the deal is signed, President Trump is going to go away and the naval blockade is over and blah, blah, blah. That's not the case because President Trump knows you can't trust the Islamic regime. He even said that in his Truth Social post. He said it's very, they're very dishonest people. So signing the deal isn't even good enough. I mean, even if assuming we even get to that point, but just signing it on paper isn't good enough. It has to be implemented. I don't see any sort of reality where the Islamic regime remains in power and just openly allows the United States to go in and remove their nuclear dust. Just that in and of itself would be the end of the Islamic regime. So, again, that's just how I see things. I could be wrong, but that's how I see things.
Actually, one news that just came out that maybe adds validity to your point is that U.S. says Israel will be comfortable with Iran deal after seeing full terms. So just right now, U.S. officials, a senior U.S. administration official said Friday, Israel is expected to support a broad regional peace agreement with Iran once it sees the full terms, including provisions on the destruction and removal of Iran's enriched material. So the Americans are saying whatever they have is something that Israel will be happy with. That's a really good sign, because if the Israelis are happy with this, it's a surrender deal. If Israelis are happy with it, it's a surrender deal. So let me read it. When Israel sees the full terms of the deal, they will be comfortable with that, the official told reporters, adding that the administration is confident that Israelis will get on board. The official acknowledged deep mistrust surrounding the agreement, but said dissent was believed to be quite minimal, including inside Iran, where some Iranians don't love this deal. Well, that's not true. The official that is not true. The official said the agreement is broad in scope and that the sides had reached specifically on the destruction and removal of the enriched uranium material. So this is, as long as they are still insisting on getting the enriched uranium out, that means that this is a surrender deal. It just comes to them. As long as they do not move that red line, that means that's a surrender deal. Okay? That's the way I'm looking at it. Simplified it. Amir with the gifts. Amir is our official Santa Claus of our channel. Not the Santa Claus of Khorasan, but Santa Claus of Liberty Politics, gifting 5 people memberships in the chat. Thank you so much, Amir. And then we have Mark with a super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, hate me all you want, but this is the truth. If the Shah does not renounce support and allegiance with the genocidal force under Zelensky, the lion and son will be skinned alive. This is not a threat of anger. This is a divine warning. Mark, that is delusional. Zelensky we support the Ukrainian people. The Ukrainian people have chosen Zelensky as their president, and we respect the Ukrainian people. If the Ukrainian people stop supporting Zelensky, we will respect the will of the Ukrainian people. Prince Reza Pahlavi has met with President Zelensky, and he supports them, and so do we. So we don't listen to your divine warning. I don't know how do you think that you are connected to divinity. That sounds delusional. Okay, we are, as long as as an Iranian, as long as Prince Reza Pahlavi supports Zelensky, we follow his lead. And even if I wasn't an Iranian, we respect the wishes of the Ukrainian people, and they have chosen President Zelensky. So we respect the Ukrainian people and their fight against Putin and their choice being Zelensky. If the Ukrainian people's decisions change, we will respect that as well. Goldie, do you have anything to add to this?
No.
Yeah. And Slava Ukrainia. And Fleshy Interloper, thank you so much for the super chat saying, kick the counter. Oh, wait. Yeah, the counter works. Thank you, Fleshy. And thank you for the support. Thank you for always checking. And then Atki, thank you so much for the super chat saying, no money from ads, get money from Atki. Atki is making the adjustment. Thank you, Atki. Fix it. You guys fixed it. Thank you. There you go. Yeah, but seriously, hopefully Goldie, keep us updated on the monetization situation with the live stream.
I think it got fixed. I sent something and I think it got fixed. Let me double check here.
Okay.
It was just so weird. I don't know. But you know what? Like, it's also weird. Like when I go live, it doesn't show that my channel is live.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have like the live circle around my channel. I'm live right now and it doesn't show me as live.
Let me check.
It's working for your channel, but it doesn't like. Do you see the live circle on my account?
No. Oh,
Yeah.
when I go to your channel, I see it, but when I search for your channel, it doesn't have it. Is it supposed to have it when I search for it?
I don't know, but like I'm on my channel right now. I don't see the live circle, but maybe other people.
I'm on your channel and I do see it.
Oh, you see it? Okay, so maybe it's
Yep.
working. I don't know. It's just been
I
very
see the live
strange.
circle.
I used to be able to see the live circle myself when I was live, but I can't see it anymore. Not sure why.
So we had like some buggy things happening with our chat. Like for example, the counter was not working properly, and
Yeah.
sometimes it gets glitchy, and then you wait a while and it works again.
Okay.
So
well,
YouTube, yes, sometimes it's like that. Justin, thank you so much for the super chat saying, well, we know who Trump has been talking to, Arakshi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe. Ooh, or maybe President Trump just threw him under the bus. I don't know. We don't know. Yes. Oh, yeah. Amir is saying we should bring out Goldie. You need a victim card for all of this stuff that is happening to
Oh,
your channel.
no,
as
that's
well.
fine. I don't need a card. That's okay.
Okay. Thank you, Justin. Thank you for the super chat. And then Aunt KP, my aunt in Florida. Thank you so much, Aunt K. Guys, I have a new aunt. Well, not new anymore. It's been a while. So Aunt K just gave us a very generous super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, just keeping up with Scruff Diesel and Goldie's live. Love to you both, Goldie and Armin. Auntie K. Yes,
Oh,
Auntie K. Yay.
thank you.
Thank you. That's very sweet. And yeah, thanks to both of you, Scruff Diesel and Auntie K. Okay, now I have to go to Florida. I have an aunt that I have never met. Yeah. Right. Wyatt, thank you so much for being a member for 5 months, saying you two are amazing. You are making a difference. I hope so. Well, I mean, Goldie is, but yes. Thank
We
you.
both are. Thank you. No, thank you for that.
Thank
Very
you.
kind comment.
Thank you. Hopefully, a difference in the right direction. Thank you, Wyatt.
I think so.
Yeah. You know what, Goldie? I should be more confident. I should be stop being so skeptical. I don't know. It's good to be skeptical.
It's good to be skeptical.
Yeah. Okay. JJ, right again. Thank you so much for the super chat saying, read the hat. It's so. Oh, here it is. Okay. Trump was right about everything. Did I read it right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. It's so small. Okay. Yes, we did it. We read, we read it. Thank you. Trump was right about everything. Okay. I was gonna say, well, that's Goldie, but I don't want to start a war. No. I think
no, that's fine. Let's go with Trump. I prefer Trump.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Oh my god. Goldie. Okay. Milk Cat Woman, thank you so much for the super chat saying, hey there. Par. Yes, hey there. Okay, yes. Hey there, par. Hey there, par. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Milk Cat Woman, for the super chat. Black Cat with a super chat saying, not knowing as much as you guys, but could it be Pezeshkian, Ghalibaf, and Arakchi want the fall of the Islamic Republic and are in cahoots, cohorts, and are in cahoots, I think, right? Is that crazy? A crazy thought? Well, it's not crazy from your to ask. It's a good question, but the answer is no. The answer is there is no way, because Pezeshkian, Ghalibaf, and Arakchi know that the Iranian people will not have any mercy on them once the Islamic Republic falls. They're not going to be forgiven. Like the Iranian people, there's nothing that these people could say or do for the Iranian people to basically accept or forgive them. The Iranian people will never forget, and they will never forgive. These people were directly responsible for the mass slaughter of the Iranian people. So what, by default, if the Islamic Republic falls, they're completely vulnerable and there's no force on earth that could protect them after that. So if even if they're completely interested by their own self-interest, they would be very much completely invested in keeping the Islamic Republic alive as the only thing that could protect them from the wrath of the Iranian people. Remember, Pezeshkian's signature is on the order to massacre the Iranian people, because Pezeshkian was part of the Security Council, the Supreme National Security Council. So his signature is on the order of the mass execution, mass slaughter of the Iranian people in early January. Ghalibaf, we have audio recordings of Ghalibaf bragging about killing students in the uprisings of the Iranian people, right? So yeah, the only thing that once the Islamic Republic falls, the only thing that could save these people is that if the transitional government comes into place before the Iranian people manage to get their hands on them. There's a period, guys, because the transitional government is going to act very, very civilized. Like, they're going to be very civilized. They're going to have courts. They're going to give you the right to lawyers. They're going to give even the Islamic regime officials the right to defend themselves. The transitional government under the leadership of Prince Reza Pahlavi is going to be against execution. It's going to be against torture. It's going to abide by standards, modern standards that would allow even these murderous criminals to get a lawyer and defend themselves in courts, have their day in court. So that's what happens once that transitional government is established. But there's a window, I don't know short or how long, there's a window between the fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of the transitional government that the Iranian people might take advantage, many, not all, but many Iranian people might want to take advantage of and basically get their hands on these people. So these people have to figure out what to do in that period of time for risk reduction. Exactly. Javid in the chat is saying, "Oh, that would be the most beautiful period in history." Oh wow! Oh no! Jesus. All right. Boboism with a super chat saying, "Never trust a Muslim." Just saying. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I would say never trust Islam. I wouldn't say never trust a Muslim. Muhammad Reza Shah was Muslim. And our problem is actually that we didn't trust him. Prince Reza Pahlavi states that he's a Muslim. Prince Reza Pahlavi states that he's a Muslim. So I disagree with that. Respectfully, Bobism, I disagree with that. I'm very, very much against Islam. I think there is no good Islam. There's no good Islam, bad Islam. There's only bad Islam. But there is good Muslims and bad Muslims. There are good Muslims and there are Muslims that you could trust. I mean, I disagree with those Muslims' take on Islam. I think every Muslim who happens to be a good person, they're a good person because they're a good person because they're a bad Muslim. But that's a disagreement I have with them. But Goldie, do you agree with that? Like, I don't like saying never trust a Muslim. I don't agree with that. Do you agree that that's not
no? I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
I have
okay.
no
Well,
issues
Goldie,
with people's religion. I have issue with Islamic terrorism and jihad, and those are two different things.
yeah. And you agree that Muhammad Reza Shah and Prince Reza Pahlavi are Muslims?
I don't know what their religion is. I don't ask.
They have stated it.
If that's what they've said, then that's what they are.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, just as a general policy, right? Like, I don't really ask people's like religions because it's not really my concern. But yeah, no, I mean, if that's what they said, then that's what they are. And I have no issues with that.
There you go. I agree with Goldie. And guys, if you disagree, we could disagree with that. Like, we could respectfully disagree on that topic with each other. And if you want to talk to me about it and state your disagreements with me on this, you could come to our discussion group and talk to me about it. So, so Justin, thank you so much for the super chat saying, one, I believe I can prove Trump makes a deal. It means he folded. I'm not saying it's all over if he makes a deal. It's not. It's just going to take a lot longer and different than we expected. So here's I think there's a second part. Oh no, this is the same message, but with another super chat. Oh, here's the second part. So the second part says the initial plan was regime change. That's what trying to arm the Iranian people through the court was. Now a deal with the number one sponsor of terror, it means he folded. Deep down, we all know this, which is why it is so upsetting. So, Justin, when Nazi Germany was collapsing, the Allies were still talking to the Nazis. They were still negotiating with them. They were still talking to Hitler. When imperialist Japan, even after the atomic bombs were dropped in Japan, the Americans were still negotiating and talking to the Japanese. So, and they were negotiating with them on their terms of their surrender. So, I mean, these examples shows that talking and negotiating necessarily doesn't mean that you're not going for regime change, right? How would you respond to that? You know, how would you respond to the fact that, I mean, in fact, I can't think of a single war with even the most evil enemies that the people on the right side were not talking. Like you're saying, they're talking to them. Why would they're talking? A deal with the number one sponsor of terror. Yeah, they were making a deal with the Nazis as they were falling. They were dealing. I mean, look at what the imperialist Japan stood for. I mean, they were the Durkas of their time. Like they were like, it was really, they had a really crazy Durka jihadi ideology, right? And like, how could you not negotiate with them? Like somebody, a regime being like pure evil doesn't mean you don't talk to them, doesn't mean you don't negotiate with them. In fact, sometimes negotiations facilitates their fall faster. And you don't know. You might be correct. I'm not saying you're wrong, 100% wrong, but you don't know that. You don't know if this method is not the fastest way. Okay, you don't know that when it comes to the fall of the regime, like maybe you're right, maybe another way would have been faster, but like this is not like a lab that we could do A/B testing. You know, based on what I'm seeing within the Islamic Republic, the negotiations have caused more damage on the Islamic Republic. And this is based on everything I've seen. The negotiations have caused more damage on the Islamic Republic than the military operations. And I've been following the Islamic Republic for 20 years, and I've been fighting them for 20 years. I know for a fact that bombardments and even arming the Iranian people and economic pressure, it's not going to be good enough. It is necessary, but it's not going to be good enough for destroying the Islamic Republic. In fact, if you don't add the internal divisions and the infighting and the mind games and the psychological warfare, if you don't add that, you might actually make them even stronger if you're only relying on military operations and economic pressure. You might actually end up making them stronger. A lot of people underestimate how important this soft power is, because the hard power, the military, the explosions are visual and you could see it, but you don't see. This is why I try to, when I show you what the regime officials are saying, is I'm trying to put a picture next to the damage that the Islamic Republic is taking because of the period that they were in right now. Because explosions are so, it's so obvious that you blew that. They had that building and now they don't. They had that air defense system and now they don't. They had that ship and now they don't. So it's measurable, it's visible. But this is why on Iran Revolution Live, we try to, when we go and show you what this person is saying against that, what these people's complaints are, what the people in the streets are saying, we try to communicate to you that the roots are being targeted. It's not just the body of the tree, the roots are being targeted. And I think that if you don't go for the roots, no matter how many times you cut this tree, it will grow back. That's what I think. So, yeah, I do believe that the Trump administration should, and maybe they are, go back to a plan for arming the Iranian people. Completely agree with you that that's necessary. We don't know that they're not doing that. They might be doing that already. They might be planning another attempt at doing that. And I don't think, here's the thing, even if America moves away from this right now, they will have to come back. Like, this is not something that the United States will be able to tolerate. Like, the Islamic regime is something that the world cannot tolerate. So we're still moving in the right direction. It looks like we're switching from a sprint to a marathon, and maybe the marathon is what's needed because maybe the distance is longer for us to do it as a sprint. We don't know. Maybe the marathon is the right solution. But whether we do it as a sprint or a marathon, we can see, what we have evidence for is we're moving in the right direction. Maybe slower. Maybe we were hoping that this would be a sprint, and now we're disappointed that it's a marathon, but we're still moving towards our destination. That's what I'm seeing. And thank you for, and I know, Justin, by the way, I even if you disagree, I really appreciate the fact that you care. And guys, I know we might be 50-50 on this, whether Americans are going on the right path or not. But I think what we could agree on is that we shouldn't let this disagreement divide us. Okay. If you think President Trump is making the right decision and you're against the Islamic Republic and for the freedom of the Iranian people, okay, if you think President Trump is making the right decision, you're on our team. We're fighting the same battle. If you think President Trump is making the wrong decisions, but you're pro-America, pro-Israel, and also pro-the Iranian people, and you want the Islamic Republic to fall, you're still on our team, and we're still fighting the same battle. So, I'm sorry about that. So we have to be careful not to let this disagreement divide us, and we should make the other side feel heard. We should make the other side of this argument feel heard. Sorry, I need to go through the super chats faster. Okay. Oh, wait. This one. Mark is saying, so 60 days have passed once again. All looks like it's going well. I would be scared if I was IRGC. Wouldn't it be funny if they fell for it for the third time? It would be it would be amazing. It would be amazing if this is all good cop, bad cop, and the Islamic Republic failed for it for a third time. It would be the most embarrassing defeat of evil regimes in history. True. And Bobo is in with a super chat saying, we will not forget and we will not forgive. Perfect. Exactly. I completely agree with that, Bobo. And thank you for your support. Casey with a super chat saying, Senator Amu Lindsay, okay, Graham, won his primary in a 60% landslide. Yes, and people were telling us that he's going to lose. Like, we were told by people like, oh yeah, he's going to lose, and now he won. So that's great. That's really good for us Iranians. Like, that's fantastic. Thank you, Casey, for the reminder of that. Great news. Amir with the super chat saying, deal that betray everyone. If Trump signed, he betrayed peace itself. If the mullahs signed, they betrayed their vows and religion just to stay alive. Well, again, Amir, it depends. If it's a surrender deal and Trump signs a surrender deal, then he's not betraying peace. He's ending he's basically he's facilitating the fall of the Islamic Republic. Depends on what the deal is, obviously, right? Wyatt with a super chat. Thank you so much, Wyatt, saying, who is Trump talking to about this deal. The Islamic Republic act like it isn't them. What if it isn't them? Who else would they talk to? The army? So no, not the army. The army is not in charge. They're not going. Nobody's going to let them be in charge of this. So the Islamic Republic is too broad of a word. The Islamic Republic is not a monolith. So you, for example, separated the army. So let's look at who we're talking about. Is it is it Vahidi, a Vahidi and Jafari camp, the main people in IRGC? Is it the Supreme Leadership camp, which is maybe Mujtaba Khamenei, different, maybe Hossein Taeb, you know? Is it it's obviously not the Paidari camp, right? Obviously not them. Is it the Ghalibaf? Is it Ghalibaf? Is it Arakshi? Is it the Ghalibaf Pezeshkian group? Arakshi is kind of like, we don't know if Arakshi is still in the Vahidi camp or back in the Ghalibaf camp. So the main people, let's just focus on the main people. Ghalibaf, Vahidi, or the Supreme Leadership Office, right? I think the best candidate is, based on what we know, is Ghalibaf, and Ghalibaf is now secretly, well, not secretly anymore, has the full endorsement of the Supreme Leadership. So I think that President Trump is talking to Ghalibaf with the full endorsement of the Supreme Leadership against the Paidari camp. And all the messages that you're hearing is the media from the Islamic Republic, which is now more fragmented than ever before, right? So all of these statements that are coming, some of it, so you have to separate the media of the Islamic Republic and official statements of the Islamic Republic. So the media we have media associated with IRGC, we have media associated with Ghalibaf, we have media associated with the Supreme Leadership Office, we have media associated with the presidency, and we have media associated with the reformers camp, so-called reformers camp. But then those are the media, but then we have official statements from the presidency, we have official statements from the Supreme Leadership, and we have official statements from Ghalibaf and official statements from IRGC. And the official statements from these people are in contradiction with each other, and the official statements are even in contradiction from statements from the media associated with these people. Okay, and the contradictions has been higher than ever before that I've ever seen. So it's crazy, right? But yeah, I think he's talking to Ghalibaf, probably. Short answer. So Fleshy Interloper, thank you so much for the super chat, saying it's working. I'm still confused. Yeah, yeah. So President Trump is successfully confusing everybody, which is good, because if you're not confused, then RGC is definitely not confused. Which is, so it's good that we're confused. Brandon with a super chat saying, once the IRGC is no longer in power, how do we ensure they don't continue with terrorist attacks in the future? How does a free run exist safely? So this is obviously, they're not going to completely disappear. They're going to be much lower in size. They're going to act like terrorist groups. They're going to turn into our Hamas, but with much less power, because they're not going to, because Hamas has the oil and gas revenue of Iran. But once the Islamic Republic falls, the Iran will not be these terrorist groups' ATM anymore. So not only they would not be as, so the IRGC, most of them will stop being active. Most of them will basically defect and join the Artesh. Many of them will stop being part of the military, but a small fraction of them will turn into terrorist groups, and they will turn into, for us, they will be like what Hamas is to Israel, but much weaker, because Hamas and Hezbollah and Hashd al-Shabi and Zainabiyun and the Houthis and Fatimiyun, they use the wealth of the Iranian people as their own personal ATM, and they get funded by it. But that will be that. There's two things that would happen. First of all, they will lose that source of revenue. So all of these terrorist groups will be much less powerful. And the IRGC that is going to fight back against us, it will also be much less powerful, because they don't have access to that revenue. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, they're going to be much less powerful, is that oil and revenue is now going to fund our army and our intelligence operations that will go hunt these people down. We will have a powerful army and a powerful intelligence operation unit that will go hunt them people down. And the same oil revenue that was funding these terrorist groups now is going to be funding the army and the intelligence operations that will go and kill these and hunt these people, right? So that's the second reason. Third, we're going to be collaborating and cooperating with Israel. So our armies will be working with each other. The IDF will be working with the Artesh, and our intelligence units will be working with each other, meaning that Mossad will be working with Savak, and we will be hunting them together because we share those enemies. So for those reasons, obviously we will always have security issues, but I think we will be able to handle them. Good question, by the way. Fergie with a super chat saying, Goldie, I really enjoy watching documentaries with you. Do you have one on the Yasmin Pahlavi? Would love to know more about her.
You know, I don't think there are actually any documentaries, like full-on documentaries about her. But I'm sure there's, like news articles or maybe like some shorter videos or something. I'll see what I can find and I'll come up with something. Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, great suggestion. Sherry with the super chat say, can I be auntie from Michigan? Yes, of course. Yay, guys, I got another auntie. I got two aunties. So Sherry, I have an auntie in Michigan, so I need to come to Michigan. I need to go to Florida. I need to go to Michigan to meet my aunties. Guys, I have two aunties in the United States. That's amazing. Wow. Thank you. And then we have Lamborghini with a super chat from South Africa saying, when these guys sign a deal with the USA, they will lose their ideological momentum. Exactly. This guy gets it. Saying this will be the beginning of the end as the Iranian people will occupy the vacuum this creates. Yeah, even before we get to do that, the regime will die from the internal civil war that will cause will kill the regime from the inside. And yeah, but pretty accurate take. Amir with the super chat. By the way, guys, I'm going to be a little bit late for our discussion group call. I'm going to go through these really fast, but I'll be there. So if you guys are in the discussion group, just bear with me. I'll be there soon. Okay. Amir saying, add to ARMIN victim card, too small font. Okay, there's two things that need to be added to my victim card. One, the font is too small. I couldn't read it. Two, English is not my first language. Every time I mispronounce something or I can't read something or I don't know the meaning of something. Okay, so that needs to be in there. Okay, so it's the Jews. I'm being oppressed by Goldie, and English is my second language, and the screen is too far, and the font is too small. Those four need to be added to my victim victim card. There you go. And we have Zipgun 2. Oh, that's Zipgun 11, not 2. Okay, Zipgun 11.
Yeah, right? Just like World War 11.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Zipgun 11 is Ahmed Vahidi dead? No confirmation of that. This is why you come to Iran Revolution Live, because we do not spread unconfirmed news. Okay, so no confirmation on that. So don't believe it until it's confirmed. I saw people spreading that, so no. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, by the way. I'm just saying it hasn't been confirmed. And also the Islamic Republic so far, every time somebody died, sometimes it took a while for them to accept it that it happened, but it didn't take too long. I mean, I'm not saying it could be different this time, but just keep that in mind. Sarah with the super chat. Thank you so much, Sarah. Saying the objective is regime change. The priority are Iranians. Before we post or do anything, we must ask ourselves, is this helping or hurting Iranians? Good rule of thumb there. That's a really good rule, Sarah. Well said. Love it. Tom from Reincarnation Entertainment with a super chat. Thank you, Tom. Saying school time soon. Yes. I'm on it. Sorry. Thank you for the reminder. I'm coming. Thank you, Tom. Helen. Oh my God. I'm late. Oh my God. Okay. Helen is saying, Durud Goldie and Mr. Armin. Much love to you. Well, thank you, Mrs.
Thank you, Durud. Hello.
Ooh, hello. Thank you for the super chat. And Todd Rathner, thank you so much for the super chat, saying, "Can you explain why this deal would be the end of the Islamic Republic?" So the Islamic Republic has three threats against it. In this order, so the first threat against it is foreign pressure, especially by United States and Israel, mainly by United States and Israel. That's a great threat against them, but not as big as the second threat. The second threat is the uprising of the anti-regime Iranian people. That threat is even bigger. They fear that most, but that threat is not as big of a threat as the third threat, the biggest threat. Even though these two threats contribute to the third threat, they cause the third threat, but the third threat is the most direct threat to the Islamic Republic. The third threat, which is the nightmare of the Islamic Republic, is the loss of support, the loss of legitimacy, the abandonment of pro-regime Iranians of the Islamic Republic. The pro-regime Iranians turning against the Islamic Republic is the absolute end of the Islamic Republic. Nothing will bring the end of the Islamic Republic more than the regime supporters turning against it, because then it will have no support. So the regime, the regime has already an uprising from anti-regime Iranians to have to deal with. But what the regime fears the most is the day that it has to deal with a double uprising: the secular-minded Iranian people turning against the regime and the pro-regime Iranians turning against the regime. That will be its last day, and I know that that is the greatest threat against the regime, because that explains all of their behavior for the past decades. If every time you look at the Islamic Republic and you can't make sense of it, because you said, well, that's going to cause the Americans to attack, that's going to cause the Israelis to attack, that's going to cause an uprising, why the hell would they do that? Every time, if you remember that the main threat to the Islamic Republic is for them to lose their last remaining supporters, then you could see, oh, I see now why they're doing that. You will be able to make sense of everything the Islamic Republic does if you understand that that is their priority, right? So signing a deal that violates all of these red lines that the pro-regime people have been screaming about for the past couple of months means that they will lose. That would be a catalyst to the already existing drop in their follower rates and their legitimacy, and that would bring about the end of the Islamic Republic faster than anything else, faster than bombardments, and faster even than economic pressure. I'm not saying I'm against kinetic military operations. Those are very helpful. I'm also very much in favor of the Operation Economic Fury and also the naval blockades. But all of that helps because it leads to this. Let me know if I answered the question properly, if that was understandable. We have Ist1 Lucas with a super chat saying, European leaders are declaring never again in their speeches on Holocaust remembrance, but they do nothing when the regime in Iran makes a business out of body parts of the people it has murdered, just as the Nazis did. Perfect statement. Nothing need to be added. Thank you so much for saying that. Very good point. Okay. So I'm getting messages from people saying, where are you, Armin? So I'm going to read this. Guys, no more super chats. So we're running out of time. Okay, sorry, I'm just kidding. Scuff Diesel with another very generous super chat. Thank you, Scuff Diesel. Goldie, you want to read this?
Sure. He says, Hawatodaram, you are not forgotten. Oh, thank you. Very kind of you. See, Armin, someone's looking out for me because you're doing all the talking.
Yes. Yeah.
and then you're blaming me of being like of oppressing you.
Save Goldie. Operation Save Goldie from what is it?
All good.
The Armin's patriarchy. Islamic patriarchy.
We're gonna fight the patriarchy, guys. Stay tuned.
Fight the patriarchy. Okay. Armin blames the Jews and women for his own flaws.
Too funny.
Okay. So, thank you, Scruff Diesel. Okay, Father of Chaos. Wow. Thank you for the super chat saying, I really need to learn how to distinguish between good and bad Muslims, like details to really understand. Love you guys. Well, thank you, Father of Chaos. Here's an easy check. What is your view on Israel? Okay, there's a lot of other questions that you ask, but ask them what are if this is the most fastest way for you to get to the proper answer. Do you support Israel? To me, if you're Muslim and you support Israel, you're wrong about Islam, but you're on the right side of history. Okay, that's the quickest way. I mean, there's more ways, but that's the quickest way. Okay, and then good one. Okay, so there you go. So, see Cyrus in the chat, he's a Muslim. He says, I'll support Israel. There we go. Exactly. There we go. All right, and then we have William with a super chat saying, I think Goldie should have I think Goldie should have let Rosie talk more. Goldie.
My sister was doing all the talking last night. I don't know.
I think that
William, you'll have to take that up with my sister.
I think he's maybe being ironic, like sarcastic or something.
I don't know.
Maybe this is a comment on you not talking enough. Like
I don't know. Maybe he thinks I talk too much. I don't know. You'll have to take it up with my sister, William. But thank you.
Yes. Operation Free Rosie.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm so late for the discussion group. Anyways, like, let me get promoted really quickly. Sorry, guys. Sorry to the discussion group. They're gonna here. Let me put the link to the discussion group. Come talk to me and the rest of the group over there. Come join our group call. I'm already 8 minutes late. The link is in the chat. The link is in the QR code in the top right corner of your page. And also, finally, the link is also on my channel, Liberty Politics. In the bio area, you could go, and once you're here in the Liberty Politics, make sure you subscribe. But the link is also here. You could go and join the discussion group, and that is all. And Goldie, what are you doing for the rest of today?
Going live later tonight, working on some videos and going live.
Fantastic, guys. Make sure you don't miss that. And guys, so next time, I'm Israel Chai. Long live America.
God bless America.
جاوید شاه
پاینده
ایران.
غرق انقلاب است. کشور ما، تاریخ ما در سینگر فرا گرفته، گویی اهورا مستا دوباره در نور خود مرا گرفته. سرودی سر میدهم باز فارغ از رنج و تشویش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. هن ای پدر هن ای پسر، برخیز و باماش و همگاه. درد آن تجربه تلخ ما را نکشیده در خواب. بگذار هر دم بغرند گرگ‌ها دم لباس میش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ای کارگر ای برزگر، راحت قانون ادامه دارد در این زمان که پرتو یزدان از هر سو بر تو میبارد. پس پیش به سوی آزادی از بحر خزر تا کیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش. خلق‌ها به پا بهر دفاع از استقلال و آزادی، تا بشکنیم پشت ارتجاع تیریزی ایران آبادی. تا زنده سازیم سنت‌های می از من آیین و کیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
که روزی که تمام این دلبشو و انقلاب تموم بشه و ما در روشنایی، نور و سعادت مردم کشورمون غرق بشیم.
نه خارجی نه بیگانه، نه مستشارهای ویرانی، نه چیر خاران نه کاسلیسان، فقط هم رزمان ایرانی.
ما با شرافت میهنی بسازی بهر فرزندان خویش.
ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
مردم بیایید داخل صف ما، اکنون که آغاز رویاست. دشمنان بدانید ما زنده هستیم، بعد از ما هم ایران پابرجاست. آن روح شیطان ما را فریب داد با صد شعار مردمیش. ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
ایران غرق انقلاب است، به پیش به پیش به پیش.
پرچم ما پرچم ایران غرق خون شهیدان، روی شانه هامان هم میکنیمش در هر خیابان و میدان. تا ماسک دلق کان را برداریم از روی تسبیح و ریش.